So we've created a form for new topics, and now we need to do one for new learning entries. So we are going to have to edit forms.py, and we're going to have to add entry to our imported models, and we're going to have to create an entry form class. So that is our next step. So this is a very similar process to the topic form. So I have forms.py open, and I am going to go ahead and edit this up here because I also need to pull in the entry model. And now I'm going to go ahead and enter my class. And then I've got the meta tag. The model here is entry. And again, this particular class does not have much in it. We have topic, but that is a foreign key. Then we've got text, and then the date added is automatically going to be inserted. So the fields that we are going to tell it to include are basically only our text field. And then we will specify a label for the text field. Now, if you have more than one field that you need to put into the form, obviously you would be coding more fields than one. So let me remind you, I did give you some examples where you have multiple fields. So you know how to key those in, because this one field business is kind of unusual. So here we've got labels. And we aren't going to do anything to that label. And we do want this to display in a text area box. So instead of just, a one line box, we want a text area box that's going to give more room to add, entries for learning. So we're associating this with our text field. We're going to pull in forms.textArea. And for the attributes here, we are going to specify columns that are 80 characters. And I missed a quote. So in this system, at least for me, I don't know about you, but it's easy for me to miss quotes. So that is one thing that I always double check for. I think we all have bad habits, and so you'll just have to double check for whatever your habit may be. Okay, so that does give us the form entry form, and I think the rest of this looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then we're going to move over to URLs. So obviously we need a new entry. And so it's page for adding a new entry. And so the path to that is if they key in new entry, or we choose a link that has new entry. We want it routed to this page. And they can provide a topic ID. because this is connected to topic. So in order for them to display an entry page, we have to know what topic it is. So that's fairly easy if we're using the menu system or the links, but you can key that into the URL as well. So we've got that coded up. And for the views, we need to go into a new entry function for this. We're going to associate the name of new entry with everything. And let me throw a comma on the end. All right, so checking for my bad habit of forgetting quotes, I can see that everything looks good there, so I'm going to save. Let me make sure I saved forms. And then our next step is to create the view. So up at the top, right after topic form, we are going to do entry form. And then this is a rather lengthy form. So I'm going to pause the video while I create it. So I've gone ahead and entered the new entry form. So what the form is doing, we've got topic.objects.get. It's retrieving the record associated with a specific topic ID. And that topic ID is either going to get passed in through the URL or through the system by selecting links. Then it's checking to see if the form has been posted. If it has not been posted, it simply displays the entry form. If it has been posted, it looks for errors. And as long as there is not an error, then it's going to save the entry. And it is also associating that with the topic and then saving it all together. Okay, so you can see it's retrieving the topic that is associated with the entry and making save. Then it's redirecting to the topic that has all of the entries displayed. Okay, so there's a little more going on here because of the foreign key. Okay, so keep that in mind, that not only is it going to save the entry, it's got to grab that topic it's associated with. Okay, and if there is an error, then what it does is it just simply posts the form with the data filled in and the error displayed so the user can fix it. So at this point, make sure you save, because our next step is to create our new entry template. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new file. I'm going to save it. Needs to go in templates, learning logs, calling it new entry.html. And I'm going to go ahead and pause while I key this one in, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so here is my new entry form. We're extending from our base HTML. We've got some content inside block content. You can see that we have a little link here that would take us to the topic that we are making the entry for. And then we have add a new entry. When they submit the form, the action takes them into views to the new entry function. And we are bringing along the topic ID. Now that topic ID, we are getting from either the URL or we've gotten it from a link to the new form. Okay, so that has to be here in order for the view to function properly. So we are using that ID, and then we've got method equal post. Again, we are checking for the cross-site forgery, formatting everything in paragraphs, and that's pretty much it. So let's save that. And then we're going to put the link on that topic detail page. I don't think I have that one open yet. So topics displays all the topics. So it's a summary page, and topic is what I'm calling the default page, or the details page. The details page displays one topic and all of the detailed entries. So it's this page that we need to add a link to. Now the link, we are going to put that in between the entry heading and the unordered list. And we'll stick that in its own little paragraph. And then in single quotes, learning logs, new entry. And we need to pass along topic ID. Got the double quote. And we'll say add new entry. Okay, double checking my typing. All right, that looks good. So this would be a link that is redirecting to our new entry page. You can see that we're pulling in the topic ID from this page so that it has it for the new entry. That way it can do the proper associations and get the learning entry associated with the proper topic. So let's save this. And so at this point, we should be able to add some entries. So let's check this out and make sure it works. Let me reload here. Okay, so I have no entries for this. Add a new entry and let's see. What have we learned? We're going to learn how to use the login system. And we'll do another one. And then we're going to learn how to create a registration page interacts with the built-in system. There we go. So that is working as well.